Second graders, today you are going to be printing your line and shape printing stamps that you made last week. So at the drive-thru you're going to need to grab a messy mat and a piece of white tape board. This paper is a little bit thicker than our usual drawing paper. If you're number 3, you're going to need to grab a green box of markers, and this is so that each of our table partners have their own box of markers to use for today. And a cup of water with a blue sponge in it. That's to wet our paper so that we can make a print. So I need to grab a pencil and write my name and class code on the back, Miss G, and my class code, and turn it over. Now my first thing that I need to do is to color in my printing plate, and I am going to use my washable markers to do that. So thinking about how color can also help to create a pattern is what I'm going to be remembering as I color in my printing plate. So I think I'm going to start with purple and color this whole spot in with purple. And then maybe blue. Coloring heavy and dark with my marker so that there's no white space left, but I'm staying in that shape or that line that I colored in. Green. Now you can choose whatever colors that you would like. You don't have to use the same ones that I do, just like you might have used different lines or shapes. And why we colored in or outlined our lines really heavily twice last week with a pen is so that our marker ink doesn't go in those little lines. It kind of stays out, and you might notice that even more when you start to print today. But just to be sure, my marker is kind of avoiding those pen lines when I'm coloring. I'm just trying to color in the white space. Now that I have my whole stamp printed in, I am going to print that stamp or stamp it onto my paper. So what I need to do is wet my sponge and wring it out really good. When I say wring it out, I mean squeeze it until there's no more water dripping out. I want it to be just damp, not really wet. So make sure that there's no more water dripping out when I hold it over my cup. And I'm just going to get one little part of my paper wet. Okay, not super wet. And I can put the sponge back. Trying not to put my fingers on my stamp, I'm just grabbing the edge. I'm going to line it up on my paper as close as I can onto the edge. I'm going to lay it down. Don't let it wiggle. Press it down flat and give it a back rub. I am rubbing all across the back of my stamp, even at the corners and the edges. Give your stamp a really good back rub. Be careful not to wiggle or twist your stamp on your page. Just leave it flat and then peel it up for a beautiful print. Do you notice how right there I didn't print very well? That means I didn't press down with my stamp. I didn't give it a good enough back rub. But that's okay. I can try again now. If I would like, I could change the colors, but I think I'm going to use the same colors that I did just here. So I'm going to color my stamp, wet down my paper, and I could maybe print it this way. This time, go like side to side, because we're going to cut these out. That's okay. And I'm going to lay it down and give it a really good back rub. Let's see if I can maybe get one more print from this one. This is called a ghost print. So